In a village by the tall baobab tree, an elder's voice in whispers sets us free.
Once upon a time, in a charming little town surrounded by hills and ancient forests, lived a woman named Joke. Joke was the epitome of grace and beauty, with a kind heart that everyone in the town admired. For years, she had dreamt of a wedding that would be the talk of the town. A wedding that would make her feel like a princess in a fairy tale. Little did she know, the fairy tale was only the beginning of a nightmare she could never have imagined. Joke met Damien, a man whose charm was as intoxicating as his wealth. He was the town's most eligible bachelor, handsome, successful, and mysterious. When Damien set his eyes on Joke, he was determined to make her his wife. Their courtship was swift and passionate, filled with lavish gifts, romantic getaways, and grand gestures of love that swept Joke off her feet. Everyone around them marveled at their love story, believing it to be a match made in heaven. The wedding was nothing short of spectacular. The ceremony was held in an ancient castle on the outskirts of the town, surrounded by enchanted woods that seemed to whisper secrets from another time. The sky was a perfect shade of blue. The air was filled with the scent of blooming roses. Joke's dress was a masterpiece of lace and silk, shimmering under the golden rays of the sun as she walked down the aisle. Every detail was meticulously planned, and the day was everything Joke had ever dreamed of. But as the sun set on their magical day and the last guest departed, the castle's grand doors closed, locking Joke into a world she had not signed up for. The first night in the castle was eerily quiet. The silence was so thick, it felt like a prison in itself. Damien, who had been so attentive and loving, seemed distant and cold. The warmth in his eyes had vanished, replaced by a gaze that sent chills down Joke's spine. She tried to dismiss it, convincing herself that he was just tired from the day's events. But the following days only grew stranger. Damien became more elusive, disappearing into the shadows of the castle for hours, sometimes days without explanation. The once vibrant castle, which has been full of life during the wedding, now felt like a prison. The walls seemed to close in on Joke, and the once bright halls were now shrouded in darkness. Joke began hearing whispers, soft, menacing voices that echoed through the empty corridors. At first, she thought it was just her imagination, the result of being alone in such a vast, unfamiliar place. But the whispers grew louder, more distant, until they became impossible to ignore. They spoke of secrets, of dark things hidden within the castle's walls, things that no bride should ever know of. One night, unable to bear the suffocating loneliness and fear, Joke followed the whispers. They led her to a hidden door behind an old tapestry, a door she had never noticed before. Trembling, she pushed it open and descended the spiral staircase that seemed to go on forever. Deep into the bowels of the castle, the air grew colder, the darkness thicker with each step. At the bottom of the staircase, Joke found herself in a forgotten chamber, lit only by the faint glow of flickering candles. The room was filled with strange symbols carved into the walls, and in the center, a large ancient book lay open on a stone pedestal. As she approached the book, the whispers intensified, now more sinister and demanding. Her heart pounded in her chest as she reached out to touch the book. But before her fingers could make contact, a hand grabbed her wrist, pulling her back. It was Damien. But the man standing before her was no longer the Damien she had married. His eyes glowed with an unnatural light. His face twisted in a malevolent grin. He revealed to Joke the truth about their marriage, a truth darker than anything she could have imagined. "Did you really think you married a prince, my love?" Damien's voice was a low growl, full of menace. "You are nothing more than a pawn in a game far beyond your understanding. This castle, this marriage, is all part of a curse that binds us together. You will never leave, Joke. You are mine for eternity." Joke's breath caught in her throat as she stared at the man she once loved, now a stranger with a terrifying secret. Panic surged through her as the full weight of her situation began to sink in. This wasn't the life she had dreamt of. This was a nightmare from which there was no waking. But Joke was not one to give up easily. Somewhere deep within her, a spark of defiance ignited. She knew she had to find a way out, to break free from the curse that had ensnared her. But how? The whispers, now more frenzied than ever, seemed to mock her, as if they knew something she didn't. With Damien watching her every move, and the castle itself seemingly alive with dark forces conspiring against her, Joke realized she had entered a deadly game, and the only way to survive was to play by the rules, or find a way to break them entirely. Joke's fairy tale had turned into a nightmare, but she wasn't ready to give up. She was determined to uncover the truth behind Damien's curse and find a way to reclaim her freedom, even if it meant facing the darkest corners of the castle and her own fears. But as Joke ventured deeper into the mysteries of the castle, she began to wonder, what if the curse was not just about Damien? What if it was about her? What if the key to her escape was something buried deep within her own past? Something she had forgotten or had been made to forget. And so Joke's story took a deeper turn, with secrets yet to be revealed, and a battle for her soul just beginning. Joke knew she had to act fast. Damien's words echoed in her mind, "You are mine for eternity." The castle's dark secrets were entwined with her fate, but she refused to accept a future bound in chains of fear. In the days that followed, Damien became more possessive, his once charming demeanor replaced by a sinister obsession. Joke was never alone. The castle's walls seemed to have eyes watching her every move, yet she remained resolute, determined to uncover the truth behind the curse. One stormy night, when Damien had left the castle on one of his mysterious absences, Joke seized the opportunity. She returned to the hidden chamber, determined to find answers in the ancient book. As she opened the heavy tome, the pages seemed to come alive, revealing a story that had been waiting centuries to be told. The book told the tale of a powerful sorceress, Morgana, who had once lived in the very castle Joke now called home. Morgana had fallen in love with a man, a warrior, who had pledged himself to another. In her anguish, Morgana cast a spell that bound her to the castle, trapping her spirit within its walls until a woman of pure heart could break the curse by finding true love within the castle. But there was more to the story. The sorceress lover, betrayed by her dark magic, had been transformed into a beast. a lion, bound to the castle and forced to marry every woman who crossed his threshold, in hopes that one day true love will break the curse. Joke's heart raced as she realized the truth. Damien was the warrior, cursed to marry again and again, his soul trapped between human and beast. Each bride before her had failed to break the curse, succumbing to the darkness within the castle, their spirits becoming part of the whispers that haunted his halls. But why had the curse not broken when Joke married Damien? The answer lay in the final lines of the book. Only when the love is returned without fear, without reservation, can the curse be broken. The bride must see the beast for who he truly is and love him despite it. Joke knew what she had to do. She had to confront Damien, not as the man he appeared to be, but as the beast he truly was. That night, when Damien returned, Joke was waiting for him in the grand hall. The firelight flickered across the room, casting airy shadows that danced across the walls. Damien entered, his eyes cold, his expression unreadable, but Joke was no longer afraid. "Damien," she called, her voice steady. "I know who you are." Damien paused, his eyes narrowing as he studied her. "You know nothing, Joke," he replied. But there was a tremor in his voice, a crack in the armor he had so carefully constructed. "I know about the curse," she continued, stepping closer, "and I know what I must do to break it." "Show me your true form, Damien. Show me the beast." For a moment there was silence, a tension so thick it was suffocating. Then slowly, Damien's form began to shift. His handsome features twisted and contorted. His body grew larger, more powerful, and before Joke stood a magnificent lion, his eyes glowing with a mixture of sorrow and hope. But instead of recoiling in fear, Joke reached out, placing her hand on the lion's mane. "I can see you, Damien," she whispered, "and I love you, not despite who you are, but because of who you are. I am not afraid." In that moment, the castle began to tremble, as if the very stones were alive with anticipation. The air crackled with energy, and a blinding light enveloped the hall. Joke closed her eyes, feeling the warmth of the light wash over her, filling her with a sense of peace she had never known. When the light faded, Joke opened her eyes to find Damien standing before her, not as a lion, but as the man she had married, yet somehow different. The coldness in his eyes was gone, replaced by a warmth and tenderness that took her breath away. The whispers that had once haunted the castle were gone, replaced by a serene silence. The curse had been broken. Damien took Joke's hand, his touch gentle and sincere. "You saved me," he said, his voice full of gratitude and love. "The curse is lifted, and the castle is free. But more importantly, you showed me the true power of love." Joke smiled, her heart swelling with joy. "We saved each other," she replied, knowing that their love had transcended the darkness that had once surrounded them. The castle, once a place of fear and despair, became a home filled with light and love. Joke and Damien ruled the land with kindness and wisdom, their story becoming a legend that will be told for generations. And so the fairy tale wedding that had turned into a nightmare became the beginning of a love story that was stronger than any curse, a love story that will last for all eternity.
Under Ghana skies, chameleon's lessons told through wise eyes, djembe drums and melodies arise. In Jubosmiles, old spirits revive. Through the pixel rivers, tradition streams, children's faces light with dreams from Kenya's plains to